Hello, my friends. John LaRuffa here with another episode of Straight Up Solo, the place where I'm going to tell you about a specific game from a solo perspective. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at It's a Wonderful World from a solo point of view. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so the way this game plays from a solo standpoint is actually fairly similar to a feel of a regular drafting game, with the exception that you're kind of doing a little bit of a modification of a draft. So in this game, the basic premise is you are building a tableau of cards. As you choose your cards that you want to do, you're going to put them in this construction area where you're going to be constructing things, and then eventually you're going to be placing little cubes down here that are represented by these different colors to actually build up what you're doing. Now in the solo game, it's played in 4 rounds, just like the regular game, and in each round you are going to be looking through 2 different pre-dealt stacks where you just deal out 8 stacks of 5 cards randomly. And the nice thing about this particular solo game is that even though it is kind of a beat your own score, they do give you 6 scenarios on the back with different types of goals, with different types of starting cards that you've already constructed. And that's really cool. I like that because that allows you to do something than just besides beat your own score and just keep playing over and over again. And they're actually pretty tough goals to hit. I've played several times and I have not even hit the bronze level of 70 points on scenario 1. So I got to tighten up my game here, folks. Anyway, so what happens it's not on your turn, but you start the game by choosing a deck of 5 cards. You look through it. You can either play a card into your construction area, okay, down here to be built later, or you can discard a card to get the immediate bonus. You recycle it, really, that's what they call it, but you discard it, you get this immediate bonus of this cube, and you put that cube right on one of your cards somewhere out there. Or you can take 2 cards and discard them to draw 5 more from the draw deck and then pick one of those to keep. Okay, so it allows you to see deeper into the deck to try to get different things. And on the cards do various things. First and foremost, if you built them or build them, they will give you all this production when you do the production phase. They'll also give you some initial bonuses building them sometimes, and they may be worth points, or they may do other things. Like this one is worth 1 point, but then this one gives you 1 money cube for every one of these type of buildings you've built, including this one. So there are all sorts of different stuff. Some of them don't have bonus buildings or bonuses for constructing them right away, and they have different icons, and it's the usual kind of trappings that you get from kind of a tableau builder, card interactions and such. So you go through this, you make your choices, you go through another one, you make your choices, and then depending on what you build and how you do your cubes, if you fill up any of these cards during this choice phase where you're basically choosing what to construct, you can immediately build them in this area right here. And then that would allow them to be available when you do your production round. So during the round for production, after you've done both of these, okay, then you're going to go through and you're going to see what produces. And just for the sake of argument, let's say I had built, this card right here, and let's say this one already right here. All right, so when I produce them, I look at what is, let's take this off here, get a little closer look. I look at what is in this building queue, and then in this color order, I go ahead and I acquire the cubes. So in this case, I get 3 gray first, and then I would get 1 black, and then 1 green, and then 1 yellow, just because of the way this goes. Now, in the solo version, if you produce 5 or more, you also will take a bonus, either economic guy over here or a military woman over here, okay? And if you do this one for 5, you get to choose either or. Those will be worth points at the end of the game. Sometimes you also need them in order to construct cards like you see this. So anytime, again, you're producing, you're going to take those cubes that you produce and you're going to put them right on whatever card needs that spot, like the gray right here. If you have leftovers that don't fit, you put them down here until you get 5 of anything, and then they immediately swap out once you have 5 for one of these red cubes, which you use as a wild card cube. Pretty simple. After you finish with the resources being constructed. Any cards that are fully built get put up on this area right here, and it'll be available for construction bonuses or points or anything like that in the next round at the end of the game. You only score once in this game. You score it at the end. And again, it's pretty quick. It's a 20-minute game tops from a solo standpoint. So that's a bit of the flavor of what you're doing. Let me tell you what I think about this game from a solo perspective. All right, so a couple of things in general about the game. It's a tableau builder. It's a drafting game. So if you like those kinds of things, similar to like a Seven Wonders or let's just think of some other tableau builders. It's not really like Race for the Galaxy per se. It's all about the drafting mechanism, but there is some production in there. It gives you a little bit of different flavor. It's not just like Seven Wonders where it's specifically card drafting. It's enjoyable, okay? So it's a good one from that standpoint. It's a lot of fun to see cards come together, get little combos. You move them over to your building area, and then when it's time to build, it produces all sorts of stuff, and you can build more things, etc., etc. From a solo standpoint, it's very easy to play. So that's a big plus. There aren't any complex rules for main game changes. It's very easy to sit down, play a solo game in 20 minutes, and still some very interesting choices, some different things. It's not particularly a brain burner, I don't think, because you only have the cards that you can choose from, and if you want to discard two, you can try to get a little deeper in the deck and get one more. But it's not going to be agonizing of like, oh my gosh, what do I do here, this and that. But it's fun. It's good. They're meaningful choices. It's not completely random. It's not just top decking cards or anything like that. So it's very easy to play. And from a solo standpoint, if you're okay with beat your score with objectives, with scenarios like I just showed you with the 6 they've got there, it's great. If you want to play against an opponent, it does not feel like you're playing against an opponent. This is kind of a puzzly, different type of game from that standpoint. It's not like you're playing against 2 or 3 other people, or you have a bot or an AI or any autonoma. Not that feel. So if you don't like a beat your score with criteria, or you want something that has a feel more of opponent versus you, then this game is not going to work for you, okay? If you do like puzzly games, if you do like seeing how, what card combos you can put together, and it's fairly easy to play and very easy to do solo, and still get a very good feel out of it, then this game is for you. I particularly like the game. I've played it a couple times now. I will continue to play it, and it's an enjoyable one. It's very quick to set up, and it's pretty quick to play. So it doesn't take a lengthy amount of time to get to the table, nor does it take a lengthy amount of time to actually play and experience. And it's so quick, you kind of leave it there. You could play it again later on in the day. And I find that I do that most often when I set it up. I play it once or twice, throughout the day before I take it down. So it's good. I like it. So It's a Wonderful World from a solo perspective. Again, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I really appreciate it. I'm John LaRuffa, and this has been another Straight Up Solo. Take it easy, everybody.